All right, so we're going to go here. And we're going to go to this. And I am going to do and learn something new. Thank you guys, because I honestly did not know this part. How did I not know this part? Oh, what am I on that slide for? Oh, that was the slide I was on. Sorry.
You're good. I was just gonna say we are live and we are recording.
No,
So
right. Hope you didn't record that. No, I'm just kidding.
thank you to everyone who's here today.
Absolutely. So I can't see is there a way, remind me again, remind me how I see, how do I, okay, wait, I can see the chat, I can see participants. It doesn't give me a total. Do you guys see the numbers keep moving? Should we go, or what do you guys see?
I think we're good.
Okay. All right. All right. Now I've got the chat. I'm gonna close this. All right, everybody. Well, happy Tuesday. I'm going to turn it right on over to your fabulous team. I don't even know why I'm talking right now, so I'm just going to stop right now.
You're fine. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's session as part of the DPI Arts Education Team's Feedback Buffet mini-series. Today is part 3, which is our Flipgrid desserts. Just to note that we will be recording this webinar and posting it to our webinar archive. You can also click on the link on the bit.ly that we've shared in the chat to follow along with the slide deck and access later if you wish. Please take a moment to notice the graphics on this page that are clickable links for you to find our Google site homepage. This page contains updates and links to register for any of our upcoming webinars. So we'll have information coming out soon about additional SEL webinars, which you'll hear about today as well. And then recordings of our previous webinars. There's a page devoted to remote learning because some of you are still in need of that. And then many, many more resources that you'll find helpful for planning your classes. You can also sign up for our listserv. I've put that in your chat as well, a link to that to receive our newsletters in your email, and follow our Facebook page to continuously get updates. We update that regularly, so please follow that to get those as well. All right, and the next slide, I'd like to take a moment to introduce ourselves to you. My name is Sayward Grinley. If you don't know me yet, I'm your dance and visual arts consultant for DPI. And my partner, my arts ed team member, is Brandon Rader. He is your music and theater arts consultant. You'll hear from him in just a moment. He and I work closely together as a team, and we each have extensive experience in all 4 arts areas. So we really work together well, even though we have our specific sections that we work on. Our section chief for social studies and arts education is former theater educator, Dr. Lori Major Carlin, and she really leads the way for us in a solutions-focused and positive mindset, and we really appreciate all that she does. Our special guest here with us today to share her tips for using Flipgrid in the classroom for feedback and assessment in a more in-depth way than even last week is Dr. Lisa Herpy. Lisa?
Hi.
All right, she's saying hi again. All right, housekeeping. Just a couple of housekeeping reminders. We do encourage video, but it's not required. Feel free to use the chat for any questions or tech issues, and Brandon or I will respond to those. Remember to stay muted so that we don't get any background noise, unless, of course, you have a question. But this is just so that we can all hear the presentation really well. We do have it on closed captioning to help you follow along, but if for any reason you can't hear or get your sound to work, remember that we are recording, so you can always go back and watch the recording for anything that you've missed. All right, on the next slide, you'll see our WebEx state mandated program. This is a new screenshot of the way that it looks now. It has been updated. So if you've been on with us previously and you're like, something looks a little bit different, that's because they've updated the program. So just take a moment to notice where your mute, your chat, and your video features are. All right, for a moment, here's our agenda on the next slide. Yep, which will include time to see your Flipgrid in action, some reflection, and Q&A, and we're going to be taking a closer look at what Flipgrid can do today. This series goals for this series have been to really help you to gain an understanding for feedback and assessment tools in arts education, specifically today, Flipgrid again, and ideas for using these tools within your own classroom. All right, I'm going to turn it over now to Brandon.
All right. So just reminding everybody that if you are still hungry for more, there is more in our webinar archive. We have been working on webinars basically since June, I believe. So if you want to know more about any of the tech goodness that we've been using in our remote learning environments, please definitely visit our webinar archive and stay tuned. As I was telling Lisa earlier, we are rolling out more videos starting tomorrow.
Oops.
That's okay.
I'm terrible. I'm telling you, you guys should not, I should not be in charge of this.
No, you're good. Go ahead and go back.
I am. Am I going forward or
You're
backwards?
going forward.
Oh, I don't know what I'm doing.
That's okay.
I'm not, okay.
I think we're on number 8. So if you have been here for all of our Flipgrid, there we go, our feedback buffet, which is the multimedia feedback tools, Flipgrid first course, and today is Flipgrid dessert. Stay tuned because we're going to share with you the instructions on how to get this super sweet digital badge. Christy just got hers for the Making Lemonade series and added it to her sweet signature line. So you can show off how amazing you are and the awesome teacher leadership that you have within arts education with this digital badge as well, so that all of your colleagues can be super envious and you can send them over to us as well. Most of the webinars that we've given, though tailored towards arts education, are completely applicable to every single subject. So any teacher is welcome to participate in them. And so we wanted to let you know what our next webinar is. On October 21st, we are going to be participating in our department-wide series of integrating SEL, which is social emotional learning, into the different content areas. So you can register by clicking on that link there or visiting the bit.ly link underneath, and we will share that with you in just a moment. All right. Just a very, very quick reminder of the state of arts education. In North Carolina, we have lots of schools, lots of public schools, and that means we have lots of arts educators. Remember that you are not alone in this, and we are here for you, and you are here for each other. I will note that in the SEL webinar coming up in October, on October 21st, we are actually going to try out a new WebEx feature and do some breakout rooms by content area. So do know that we are aware that teachers need some time working with their peers who are teaching the same content. So, all right, taking a look at the next slide, we see that we are reminded of our comprehensive arts education model. As we continue on through the year, we are going to be pulling in partners so that hopefully you can get a little bit more arts exposure for your students and arts integration as well. A reminder just for the NCDPI and Friday Institute framework for the instructional design principles for remote teaching and learning, because it's amazing, and we will be revisiting it again as it has a social and emotional learning component.
Oh.
And then, no, you're good. We are bringing a reminder. That's okay. Don't go back. Just that we have our SEL support documents that we will go into in much greater depth in the October 21st webinar, where you will actually get to meet the writers of these guidance documents and explore much more deeply all of this SEL content. So hope to see you there. All right, now, Lisa, now it's your turn.
I wasn't trying to get there fast. That wasn't it. It's just like, I am not good with the little cursor.
You know what? My kids try to skip to dessert too, so I don't.
Right, exactly, right, exactly. Yeah. Well, that's not what it was, because all that's amazing. It's so important, the work that you guys do across the state. Listen, arts are the the things that keep us together in life, right? I mean, it's especially in this time of any time, right? So my heart and my humble gratitude goes out to each and every one of you that teaches in the arts. I thank you. The students across North Carolina, thank you. So, but let's get into it. I'm here to kind of give you the dessert. I know that many of you may have joined us last week, last week. Let's see, I don't even know what week it is. Isn't it? Is it just me, or is it Groundhog's Day every day for everybody? I think I did something last week, and I look at the calendar. It was like 3 weeks ago. I don't even understand that. All right, a lot of you were probably here before, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. I've been in this business for 22 years. I've been a principal, a coach. I've been a 6th through 8th grade middle school teacher. I've been an air traffic control in the Navy. I'm just here to make sure we're all going in the right direction and that we're doing what's best for kids, especially as we move from crisis to the classroom. So I don't want to bore you with all that. Again, I just always want to remind you that we don't just do this stuff because we just need to do this stuff, that there are actual reasons that impact our learners about why we make the decisions that we do and the tools that we use to impact their learning. And we always want to remind ourselves that we have different learners no matter what. They're not identified, doesn't mean they're necessarily identified or anything like that, but we all learn differently. And we need to take advantage of some of these affordances that these tools give us so that we can represent ideas, concepts, or content in a variety of ways that will get to different learners. You can use these tools to give learners, and along with ourselves, an opportunity to show action and expression in a variety of ways that is best for their learning style. And last but not least, it's important that we remember that we always can use help to increase engagement with the use of technology. That's not going to replace the relationship you have with kids, but what we know is that learning must look like how kids live so that we can prepare them for the future that they deserve. So I'm going to stop right there and think, are there any questions or concerns before I dig in? Anything you guys see? Earth without an art. Oh, I like that. Anything in the chat, you guys? So can I go ahead and go on in? All right, I see a yes. So y'all, I'm going to have to escape, which is unfortunate. We're going to have to figure out how we're going to do that recording because, it's funny because when I do this, the closed captioning goes off. So that's going to be something I'm going to try to figure out. So what I'm going to do, y'all, is I'm just going to jump over into Flipgrid, right? And what we're going to first do is, you remember that my model is, let me show you. Right. So, everybody reach for the stars, right? Everybody reach for the stars. That's right. Get your fingers off your computers. And yes, that's a great technique to use with your kids, right? If you're in the middle of instruction and they're all in various stages, but they're working perhaps on their Chromebooks or whatever device they have. And you maybe have to remind them of something or reteach them something. That's a great way to get them all out there. Everybody reach for the stars. And then if you want to add a bonus, you can say, twinkle your stars. Little kids like that. Twinkle your stars. Okay. So before we get started, Flipgrid is an incredible, I consider a pretty sophisticated tool, especially when you first start using it. And this is just a rule that I would apply to all the tools that I use. So as we get started, anytime you're getting ready to take risk with intention, when you're ready to challenge yourself, I'm going to borrow this from the 3rd grade team at Eastwick Academy. Okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to have an SEL moment. Ready? Everybody do this with me. Ready? We're going to do this. We're going to smell the cookies, blow the soup. That's right. Breathe. Here we go. One more time. Smell the cookies, blow the soup. You got this. All right. So last week, I basically did the basics of Flipgrid, right? And that alone, that is a challenge. And if you take on that challenge, well, that is amazing. And that's great. But if you're ready and you're ready and you want to go further with Flipgrid, we've got some great stuff for you today in sort of 2 buckets. So the first bucket is going to be something called the Discovery Library. So as you all hopefully did last week, you all have signed into your Flipgrids and you are all, I want to leave that one there. You're all signed up for your education accounts and all of that good noise. And now what I'm going to do is show you some stuff that's sort of buried down below that if you didn't know what it was, I'm going to show you what it is, because I'm all about work smarter, not harder. And there's been some amazing things that that Flipgrid has done. Flipgrid has really done a big overhaul in the last year in terms of security, as well as making some deliberate and purposeful partnerships with educational entities across across the United States and across the world. And I'm going to show you how not only did they make these partnerships, but they made these partnerships so that they could literally give you something to borrow. What I like to say all the time in education is what we do in education is we borrow awesomeness, right? That's all teaching is. You see somebody do something that's great and you're like, oh, I want to do that. And you adapt it, you make it for your kids, but that's all called borrowing awesome. Well, Flipgrid, I believe, absolutely has taken on this mantra of borrowing awesome. So I'm going to show you how. Remember, you're still in your reach for the stars, twinkle your stars. So here we go. Now, do not get freaked out about the number of groups that I have. I am a Flipgrid ambassador. Please don't freak out. That's just, I'm lucky enough that I met the guy and I've been doing this for a really long time. So I'm going to start from the beginning. In order to borrow awesome, you got to think about awesomeness. You got to be able to put it into a bucket, or you got to put that awesomeness somewhere. So when you first go to use the Discovery Library in Flipgrid, which I'm going to show you in just a minute, you have to do something first, right? So you have to sort of create that bucket for where all that awesomeness is going to go. And what we know in Flipgrid language, that a bucket is really a group, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a group, right? And I'm going to make it public. That's just me. We went into that last year. I was going to call this Plern Desserts. I can't spell. All right. I'm not, all that. So the basic line, what I'm telling you here is, skip for now. All right. Go to group. What I'm saying to you, the reason I'm bringing this up is that this is just your bucket, right? We're going to go borrow awesomeness from the Discovery Library. This is the bucket. So you have to create a group that's ready to receive Discovery awesomeness. Okay. So you've created your bucket to go and get some awesomeness. And now we're ready to go get it. And where you go get it is up in your dashboard. You're going to go to this thing called Discovery. It used to be called Disco, but they changed their mind. Not sure why, because I really like Disco a lot. So you look at this thing and you're just like, okay, so what's this all about? What is all this? I remember, I've been in Flipgrid a long time and I really never looked at this before. I was just like, what is all this? I don't know. But here's what it is. I'll say it again. Flipgrid has partnered with a bunch of educational entities and have already created Flipgrids ready to go around the content or the idea of these other educational entities. So for example, when I talk about borrowing awesomeness, right now in Discovery Library and Flipgrid, and it was just 26,000 last week, there are over 28,000 Flipgrids that you could potentially borrow. That's right, 28,000. Now, let me just go to an example that I like. I'm going to show you first give you kind of the concept, and then I'm going to show you a couple of different ways you can search the Discovery Library. Okay? Can everybody can I do that? Is that cool with everybody? All right, here we go. I'm going to go down to one of my favorite partners that they partner with. Here are all the people they partnered with. Again, remember, this is what you plurn with. You're not plurning now. You're twinkling. This is what you would go and plurn with later, right? But I'm just going to jump into one of my favorite things, and it's called the Wonder of the Day. Now, let me just jump over here. If you have not heard of what Wonderopolis is, well, let me just make your entire world. Okay, pass this on to your general ed folks, to anyone that teaches, anybody that has a helium hand in their classroom. You know what I mean. I'm done, right? This is where I would probably send a lot of my kids. It would just be a QR code on my wall or on my desk. And what it is, it's called the Wonder of the Day. They're based on pop culture, they're science and social studies. They're absolutely amazing. They start with a bunch. This one happens to be social studies. They give you some sort of prompting questions. Which of these, which of these do I understand? So the kid just goes in here and he just tries to go. There we go. So here we go. And once the kid clicks into the issue, it's just so amazing. Once again, you get these questions that sets them up before reading, get them kind of thinking. There's always going to be some kind of related video, right? For some of those kids that maybe be a little bit more visual. And of course, there's always going to be some informational text. So it's a really great way to get informational text into kids that it doesn't seem like informational text. And you know what I mean. The other thing that's important is you'll see that they would highlight some, key vocabulary that's related to this article. They'll jump out and tell you what that one is. They'll bring you to another Wonderopolis that's related to perspective. So I think that's interesting. So bottom line is you've got your vocabulary. They can take a challenge. They can actually test their knowledge of this. Again, it's just a great resource just to have kids as an enrichment or extension activity. Send your kids to Wonderopolis. Now, let's go back. Now that you have the concept of what Wonderopolis is, let's go back and look at what they've done. Whoops, not that one. Stop it. I want to. That is not. Okay, this way they keep changing it. Maybe I need to go down here and go this way. Why is it not? Oh, view all. There we go. All right, why won't it not let me just go to Wonderopolis? See, they change it all the time, you guys. Like normally I'm not this crazy, but they just won't keep it the same. I used to just be able to mash right on Wonder of the Day and it would just take me there. So there we go, view more. How about that? Okay, so here we go. So here are all the wonders of the day. So these are made, so people that work at Wonderopolis have partnered with Flipgrid and they have come up and taking some of their wonders of the day and already put them into a Flipgrid. So here we go. What if there was no moon? My cat's named Moon, so I'm going to go there. So let's take a look at this. So again, you're going to have to click in here and look at these things. So this was already made. This is already pre-made, right? So I will tell you, when I first discovered the magicalness of this, I probably learned on my couch for over 2 hours because it's a twofold process. First, I need to kind of get into what I'm looking for, see what's out there that's already been made for me. And then I'm going to go ahead and take a quick look at it and make sure that it's pretty good. But look at this. The YouTube video is already here. They've already got the questions here. They've got the link to the article here. And then they give you the prompt that they're going to answer in the Flipgrid. That's already done for you. You do nothing. But here's how you get it. How do you get this awesomeness, right? Here's what you do. You share your topic. Oh, that's not what I want to do. Why? Please don't make this difficult. I'm gone. We'll go back to here. So okay, now seriously, guys, did they change how you get it? Am I losing it? Because it used to just be drop down and go and get it. Okay, guys, give me 1 minute because this is me learning right now because literally you used to just be able to dump it into your topic. What am I doing wrong? All right, guys, hold on a second. I'm not sure why it's just not letting me share like it normally does. Brandon, oh, wait. All right, here we go. That's because the chat pictures are over the button. Sorry. I was like, wait, what happened? So remember how we made that bucket to begin with, right? So now that's when this bucket comes into handy. So we want to grab this awesomeness, right? So we want to add it to a group. Because why? Because we already made that as a group. And for me personally, I would keep all my borrowedness all in one group. But again, if you want to add it as an individual topic, that's up to you. This is honestly a new feature because you can tell I'm sort of making my way through it because they didn't have that option before. But there it is. I want to dump it into that group. And I'm going to say next. And here's the real beautiful part. Even if you find one that you like, and it's maybe not exactly the way you want it, well, guess what? Once you borrow it, you can change it. If you don't like these questions or you don't like this emoji, you can change it. You can absolutely go through and change it. You can change how long it is. You can do whatever you want, but at least the basics of it is already there, right? It's already there. So you're not completely attached to everything there, but if more than 85% of it is working for you, then why not like borrow that awesome. You'll also notice right here, you can also, if you want to moderate the video, and it's right there, that setting is right there for you. If you don't like their media that they've chosen, you can choose a different media. So again, once you borrow it, now it's all yours. So I'm going to update the topic. And when I go into my discussions and I go into my planned desserts, that is now sitting there, and now I can push it out to my kids. Yes, that is correct. I just made a Flipgrid in probably less than 2 minutes that can be sent to my kids immediately. And I didn't even create it. Nope. Now, so that's just one of my favorite partners. You can go explore your other partners, but what I would rather do is let me show you a couple of different ways to search. So first, like I said, that you want to go and look at all these partners. Again, you definitely want to look at some of these and make sure that there's not a pay. Most of them, I think they've cleaned out. But when they first were offering it, sometimes to go to do the activity, you had to be you had to have the account. So just make sure that that's not here. But go through these. There's so many of them. It's incredible. Oops, I didn't want to do that. It's just amazing, right? But and there's trending topics, and there's just so featured collections, on and on it goes. But honestly, we don't really have all time for that. So what I like to do is I like to go, let me back up. I did that really fast. I like to go right up here. It's just sort of sitting there. It's a little sneaky. It's not like, hey, this is probably the best way to search. But you want to click on that view all topics, and then look at this. This is where you can then narrow, drill. So you can, do it by subject, right? Arts and performing visual. You didn't say, right? And then you can pick your audience, right? And then go and look and look and look and look and look and borrow as you please. All right? I want to stop right there for questions are concerned. And if your mind isn't blown right now, I'm not sure what else I can do because this is amazing. Okay, I'm gonna stop there. Questions, concerns, pushback about the Discovery Library, anything else you want me to show you, any questions that you might have. Ask now or forever hold your peace before I move on to the second part.
We're getting love it, I'm blown, awesome responses here. No questions so far though, unless anybody else has any.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. So I just learned, I'm sorry, forgive me, my fingers were on my keyboard. And it appears that a lot of the ones that I'm interested in have the teacher like recording herself explaining the directions. So is there a way that we can, and you're on mute, so unmute, Lisa.
Oh, I got it. Thank you. So yes, if you gave me one, I'm sure it's probably the video or the media that they added. So remember what I showed you is when you get it, right, you would delete that teacher's video and make your own. That's it. Does it make sense to everybody?
So Lisa, we have another question.
So let me just say that one more time.
Okay.
If you see a specific teacher recording a video in one of these discovery topics, don't let that discourage you because you can record and make and put in your own video. That's very important. All right. Yes, Brandon.
Okay. So Elaine is asking, she said, so we have to have a group and that's how we save them. So I'm going to turn that a little bit and say, is there a way to like put them in a collection to use later, or should you like create a group that you can like put everything in to save for later? Or is there, so is there a way to like save for later, or do you just put them in a group?
You know what? It's funny. So let's just do something because, I saw this down here where it says save to collection. And this is a new thing, right? So I'm not sure. So this is us learning together, right? So I'm just going to say learn, borrow. Awesome. So this is a new thing because when I look at my dashboard, so this is literally this is us learning together, and that's an okay thing. I don't ever claim that I know everything because there's no way that's possible. So I don't see collections. Like when I look at the dashboard up here, I see discussion, discovery, activities, mixtapes, shorts, grid pals, all that. But I don't see this, save collection thing. So this is literally what I would do is, whoops, let's borrow. Awesome. And I'm going to see what happens, to be honest with you. Okay. I don't know if it did it, but and I also don't know how to get back to the collection. You know what I mean? I just don't know. Okay. So then maybe we go here. See, I'd have to play with that some more. So as of right now, what I do know until I figure out that collection piece, because I'll be honest with you, I don't feel bad about knowing that because I think Flipgrid is building it as we're going. I think they probably got that there and aren't sure what they're going to do with it. And it's probably not on the dashboard yet. But what we do now know for right now, and that's new even from the last time I taught this, that is how fast Flipgrid is innovating. I literally did this same session less than a month ago. And this is all new since then. Because when you used to go to add to the topic, the only thing you could do was add it to a group or a grid at that time. So now they are saying that you can add it as an individual topic. And that's fine. I mean, so really that's your preference. I personally, maybe the collection thing would be easier because I don't know how many groups you can get for free. So I think they're trying to figure out their whole business model plan because at 5 grids I think they're just trying to figure out how to give educators as much as they can. Because I don't know if there's a limitation on topics or groups now because I can't really see that stuff since I've already signed in. I say, does somebody have something to add, Brandon? I feel like you have something to add to that.
Oh, I was just going to say, Christy let us know that on the main Disco page, there is a My Library tab, and that's where you can find your collections.
Hey, wait, let's see.
And Janet,
you mean not the Disco tab? It used to be the Disco tab. Now it's the Discovery tab.
My Library.
Boom. See, you know who the smartest? Wait, but where are all my collections though?
Well,
okay, so I guess probably here. You probably would be better to add it here, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's almost the same idea. You either have to create. You almost have to still create your bucket. So your bucket is either going to be a group, or it's going to be a collection. And my guess is that maybe collections might be a way for you to house things that you like, but doesn't take up your subscription or your free subscription space. That's my hope.
We have someone that Janet said she divides her collections into different music elements.
Yeah.
That's where she saves her things.
Yeah, and that's what I would do. So I might have a Wonderopolis collection, a Breakout EDU collection, some of your arts and visuals or whatever you're doing, and have it be there. And again, they are innovating as fast as we can go. Like all of this is like new. This wasn't even, the collections have been there, but the way that they're integrating the Discovery Library has been evolving. So thank you. The smartest people in the room are the room. Any other questions? Anything else I want to show about the Discovery Library? Be a thought partner. Yes. Good.
Just to sort of summarize, so you go to your My Library, you make your collection first, and then you'll go in and find the material.
Yeah, let's do it. I'll go. Look what I wore. Awesome. Let's look at my awesome collection. Okay, let me add something to my awesome collection. Yeah. So I'm going to go to Discovery, right? Maybe. Come on, computer, you can do it. Oh, maybe it wants me to save it. Hold on. Why won't it let me off this page? Oh, I am in Discovery. Never mind. Okay. That's crazy. All right, so I'm just going to go here. That's weird. All right. Oh, I see. I should have tabbed over. All right, so I'm just going to grab one. Doesn't matter. We don't care at this point. We just want to see what it does. Hi, we like you too. Okay, here we go. So instead of maybe adding to my topic now, I'm going to see if I can get into my awesome. And there it is. Awesome. So I think that's saved. I'm going to assume it's saved. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back up to Discovery, I'm going to go back to my library. I'm going to go back to RSM. I already see that little 1 on there, so I know it's there. Boom. Okay. Anything else I can show you? All right. You sure? Because I'm happy to stay here as long as anybody, because this is like gold, y'all. I mean, I bet you half of you aren't even listening to me right now because you're already just like, you're like, I don't even need to listen to that woman anymore because I'm done. But seriously, I got some really good stuff that you need to hold on for, especially to help maybe pass it on to your general ed friends. So, okay, stop the madness. I know you're like, oh, this is gravy. Okay, but stop and let me show you one more thing if I could. All right. So reach for the stars, twinkle those stars, twinkle those stars. Let me just show you one more thing. And I want to just show you where I'm going here. So that was discovery. Well, what I'm going to show you now is I'm going to show you something. I got this image because I think this really sums it up. And I know I'm not in present mode. I know. But I just think that this is important because this goes right along with our UDL thoughts, right? That, you know, Flipgrid, not only is it amazing in terms of allowing you to have super duper interactivity, it has really, really taken a note out of the UDL notebook and has put into features in the responses of your students on Flipgrid that are going to blow your mind. Okay, you ready for this? Here we go. So we're going to go to, well, I'm going to try to escape. Here we go. So I'm going to just jump on. Let me see. This thing drives me crazy. Oh, you're right. What am I? I'm going to do your little trick, Brandon. Just bring the browser bar down. Let me grab it. Oh, there it is. There we go. All right. I had some Flipgrids already pulled up. So, so here are my here's one of my classes, that you can grade that way. I sometimes just go right into my grid and grade. You also know that that if you go to a discussion and I go into the class and I pick the video that I want, that I can see all of their responses here. So there's 2 ways to basically grade, right? You can go right into your actual Flipgrid yourself and look at their videos, or you can go on your dashboard. It doesn't matter either way. But here's what I want to show you. I'm just going to pull out, this is one of my students in one of my grad classes at State right now. I use a lot of Flipgrid. I don't do any discussion boards in my classroom. I haven't done any discussion boards since like 2010. But what they do is they do these responses, right? I give them a prompt based on their readings or viewing that week, etc. And then they give me the answer, and that's great. And I'm grading, and I have like 41 students right now, and it's kind of daunting to think about listening to all videos, like all minute and a half, all 3 minutes. This is just introduction, so it's only a minute and a half. My real work, their videos are up to 3 minutes, right? And so sometimes I will listen to it, and then a lot of times I was just using this little thing called Immersive Reader. Now, I'll be honest, I was just using it for me as a teacher because it was a little easier sometimes because I know what I'm looking for. I know that they're synthesizing information, and I know some basic things that I'm looking for. So sometimes I would just I will just scroll right through here and just kind of look, right? Just sort of kind of a little shortcut to grading, right? Because this is what it does. It actually takes that person's video and it records it. So that's nice though. So this is good though. So when you have your kids looking at each other's video, that might be something that you want to teach them because maybe they don't want to listen, or maybe you want them to pair the words with the voice. So that's what this does too. So what this will do is it will actually
skill. It is actually the best way to gather and store information in our brain.
You see that? That's pretty amazing. Just that alone, we're done, right? They can listen. It's isolating it. It's showing it word by word. Awesome sauce. Okay. So let's look at some other things. You notice how each word is kind of like got a little box on it. It kind of breaks out each word. Well, if kids click on that, that's right. It's going to say the word
brain
and give a picture clue if possible. That's right. I didn't know that. You know how I found that out? Because I accidentally double tapped, right? I didn't even know that. I did not even know this. That is ridiculous, okay? But let me show you some other things, and there's some things you have to have set in order for that to work, okay? So again, this isn't so much for you. I mean, this is for you, but now this is more about how do your kids have an ability to look at each other Flipgrid responses based on their different learning needs and language needs. Okay, so also, and it could be some challenges, maybe visually, etc. Right. So again, one of the things I like is you can make this font as big as it needs to be. If you have some kids that are having some visual challenges, you also can increase the spacing. You can change the colors. You do all that kind of thing, right? The other thing that I like are these grammar options, right? So let me go back here and kind of make it a little bit smaller so we can see a little bit more of it. Okay, so you go here and like, I mean, I'm a language arts teacher, so I'm just like losing my mind over this. You're probably like, I don't know if I'd ever use that, but tell your English teachers, okay? Please just tell your English language arts teachers, okay? And your foreign language teachers. But I mean, if you were studying syllables, I mean, for me, I would do something like that. I mean, that would be a cool thing for me. Just to see what, how many adjectives and adverbs that student was learning. But, that's neither here nor there. You can turn the syllables on, which is kind of neat. Especially maybe in the younger grades, that might be helpful, especially if you're, roller coastering letters or doing whatever. That's something to think about. And here comes your reading preferences. And this one I just actually discovered today, and I just couldn't even believe it. So you can turn on something. And again, this is about you teaching kids to do this, right? We're teaching them how to fish. If kids have to use different tools, different ways of getting at the content, I believe our job, we're not going to follow them to college. We're not going to follow them to the next grade. We need to teach them how to fish on their own. So I would teach kids this. If they have to use it, they don't have to use it, great. But if they do, then it's there for them and they can use it in their own private, confidential way, but at least they know it's there for them. So I would teach kids to turn the line focus on. You can choose how many lines you want, right? You can say, oh, I want, this line, one line. Isn't that amazing, right? Does every kid need that? No. But for the one kid that does, that's going to make a whole difference in their school, and their whole school day, their whole attitude towards school. Now, I must have had this defaulted on. So if for some reason you're not getting your picture dictionary coming up like I did with like the brain, that just means that this isn't toggled on. I find that it's defaulted to on. Now here comes the really crazy magicness that I was like, what? Now, what if you have some students that speak a different language in your classroom and have difficulty reading or hearing English, that their peer or their colleague in their class has recorded? So what you would teach them is what we'll do is we'll pick a language. I'm just going to go down. I think I'll do Spanish, and I'm going to do by word. Okay, we can do it by document. Okay, but check this out.
Understanding and use it to communicate and share.
Stop. Let me go back. Okay, you got to do it by document. I take it back. You have to toggle by document, okay? And you'll see that. And now I left the syllables in there, so don't get freaked out by me leaving the syllables. Let me go turn those off. So it looks normal. Okay, so again, all I did was go to the language, and I said by document. Now, hold on a second. Wait for this. Ready?
La lectura es una habilidad. En realidad es la mejor manera de recopilar y almacenar información.
So that's right. Students can listen to their classmates' response in their own native language if that's what it takes. Does it matter what language they get it, or do you want them to get it? Right? And I would teach all of my kids. Yeah, I know. Thank you, Linda. I know. Okay, so again, this isn't for us, but it also could be like, what if you did do this, maybe you did make a Flipgrid, and then you can turn your Flipgrid into Spanish, to Russian, to Chinese. I don't even know how many languages were there. I mean, hello.
And listen, we just did, I mean, we're still doing Hispanic Heritage Month. And like, I've got this student teacher who is phenomenal, and she's from Puerto Rico. And like, I'm like so excited. And she's so funny. We've been working on 3-4 meter with 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. And she can't say 3. She says tree. And the kids are like, it's 3.
Yes, like, exactly. Exactly.
Sorry.
So I already heard, like, no, you're fine, Linda. No, listen, like, I just saw it come really fast. Yes, if you're not emailing your world language teachers right now, shame on you, because sharing is caring.
Well, I just thought about, there was a dance teacher last week that shared a Facebook post that she had a student who I believe Spanish was her primary language, and she never really spoke up in class situations, never really talked much. So they just let her share her presentation one day in Spanish, and everybody just cheered because it was the first time they actually heard her speak. So she could record her entire thing in Spanish, and then everybody else in the class just translate to English. And
they just have to go away. That's right. So you reverse engineer that, right? Yeah. You let your Spanish kids record in Spanish, and then you have to tell your English speaking kids, guess what? Welcome to their world.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I was a little political on that. But also I wanted to point out this, you know, just again, extra.
Sorry, it takes me like 2 times the process.
Okay, so this just one other support. Like, I mean, it doesn't matter if it's an English learner learning Spanish or a Spanish learner learning English. Look at this ESL support here, right? So not only do they tell you what it sounds like in Spanish, they also give you the English version. I mean, I don't know what more to do. I just don't know what, like, I wish I was back in the classroom right now, because there's just so easy, and this is just one tool. Not that you're going to use Flipgrid all day long, because you'll bore them to death. Okay, don't use Flipgrid all the time. But, you know, it's just these, you know, even if this was once or twice, I mean, think about those students that had this ability. That would just make them feel so much more connected to your classroom and feel so much more confident in their work. So that is, oh, go ahead, Brandon.
Can you go all the way back and show, now that we've like fallen in love with this, can you go all the way back to the video and show how to get here again?
Yeah. Okay, yeah. How did I get to all that amazingness? Super simple, right? Also, let me show you this too.
It's a skill. It is actually the best way to gather.
Okay, I'm sorry. You also know, I want to show just one more thing that I didn't show, that when you also want to teach kids that maybe just need that visual support, or you're trying to help them maybe, you know, get better. You can teach kids that they can turn on or turn off that CC right there.
Understand it.
Okay? So Flipgrid already CCs. Okay. Now, the original question was, how did I get to immersive reader? What you want to do is, when you go to immersive reader, you teach your kids to go to the little wheel, right? Go to settings, you know, the wheel, the snowman, it always means something, the hamburger. Go to your wheel, go to immersive reader. And then you would have to teach them. This isn't something you would have to take some instructional time, because this isn't, and I would teach all of my kids. People say, well, you teach all of them, teach them all this, and the ones that need it and use it. And then maybe you might privately be like, don't forget about that immersive reader feature. You know what I mean? Teach them all. And then just gently maybe encourage those that you think might benefit to remember that feature. So again, I'll go one more time, and we'll go through it one more time. You can always teach kids to turn CC on. You want to go to settings. You want to go to immersive reader. The AA, that's all the sort of visual, spatial, you know, making sure that they can see it, read it. This might be more of your visually impaired kids. This might be where they go to do contrast, size, that kind of stuff. This one is about playing around with language. This is the one you'd email all your language arts teachers, and just for fun. I personally just love this feature. Here is where you're really going to get into that language piece. And remember, the trick is you've got to click the whole document. Why? I don't know. I just know how that works because I learned with it. Do I need to know why I have to toggle document? No, I just know that's how it works. Also remind your kids that if they're an immersive reader, that if they're unsure about a vocabulary word that their peer has used or you have used in your video, that they can tap on each word and it will say that for them?
Encourage.
If it can have a picture clue, it will.
Read.
I mean, that's it, y'all. I mean, you just got to put these tools, and this is the way of the world going forward. There is the technologies are going to continue to lower and lower and lower the barrier for all learners in our class to be able to express themselves and tell them and show you what they know. I'm going to pause right there. Questions, concerns, pushback, or anything you would like me to show you again?
Yes, there's a question in the chat. Christine says, I don't see the immersive reader on the student responses in one of my already created Flipgrids. Is there something that she needs to turn on ahead of time or?
Now, no, I think the teacher describes it. Are you looking at it the way, let me go and make sure. Are you grading? Let me go back. Nope. Trying to find that one where, maybe it's here. Okay. Can you ask her, is she grading like this or is she grading in the actual question?
Hi, everyone.
I guess it doesn't matter because I get a wheel no matter what. So let me go to my settings. I don't even know where I would go. Is this me?
Christine, do you want to pipe in?
Yeah, I'm looking at it that same way. I've got the student names on one side and I see the 3 green buttons and the 3 blue buttons, just like you did.
Okay, but you don't get a wheel?
I get a wheel, but immersive reader is not a choice. On the wheel, it is in my topic.
How
I am on the student video and I click the wheel, all I get is playback speed.
So I wonder, I'm going to be honest, my concern is I wonder if it's because I'm an ambassador. I wonder if that's another level.
No, I was just
researching
it.
Yeah.
Okay. Time out.
got it. Christine, are you on full screen? Put your Flipgrid on full screen because it's like the last one. There's like 4 different things.
Okay, I'm in full. Now my toolbar's in the way. Hold on, let me see. It's like not there. Is everybody else seeing it except me?
Everybody else is seeing it. Is everybody else seeing it? I just want to make sure it's not a pay thing. But Brandon, you said you had an answer.
Well, I was gonna say, Christy, when were your videos made?
This summer.
Oh, okay. Then that's probably not it. Okay. I was just remember that you have.
What browser are you on?
Chrome.
Okay. Well, you know what?
Because I had mine this summer too, and I had to cancel it and re-register.
I don't really.
Now I see all the. I have more features now.
Interesting. Okay.
I mean,
maybe there's an update. I don't know, but I also switched schools, so I don't know. But mine's still free.
But I would say, if I were you, Christina, I'm telling you, Flipgrid is so responsive. I would get out there and tweet to them and say, hey, Flipgrid, this is me. This is my, DM them or whatever. I don't know. You're not following them. They're not following you, but just, tweet them out and then say, hey, I don't know how. I think Brian and I and Sayward, we'll do a little more research. There's obviously something that we just got to fix, but the good news is it's not connected pay to play. Thank goodness. Or I would just crawl into a corner right now after all that excitement. But all right, any other questions or concerns, Christine? I know that we'll get that problem solved for you. We'll get that problem solved for you. Right, Brandon? Right, Sayward?
Sounds good.
If we need to do a screen share or something, we can
figure it out. Right. There's got to be something. And then after that, get on the horn, tweet Flipgrid. They will. And if you don't get an answer, I'm a student ambassador. I have someone that I can get a hold of at Flipgrid that can maybe get us the answer, but I'll let you all try to problem solve it first. Does that sound good?
So Lisa, we have a question.
Yes.
Is it possible to link a PDF or Word document to a Flipgrid?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So let me see. Do I have any documents? Yeah, sure. All right. Let me go to Flipgrid. No. I just need to go to my account. Why do they make it so hard to just get to your account? You would think it would just be easy to get to the main. I still can't figure out how do you just get to your main Flipgrid? All right. I wish I'm not even smart enough to figure that out. I don't know. I always have to go back in and sign in like that. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So let me just go ahead. I'm just going to make a topic. I'm going to add a topic. And our topic is PDF. All right. This is where you say stuff. This is where you toggle. You can make it. Now, you may not have as many choices, but don't forget you can change that. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, so forget even immersive reader, Christine. Here's a shortcut for you, at least at the beginning. You could have it, you can change the closed captionings. At least that's a shortcut for now. So that's cool. Love that. Yep. So upload a video. So let's see. Oh, no. Thank you, but no. All right. I just accidentally hit on that. So upload a video, add a video. I wonder, I'm just hoping it's going to take, you would have to possibly change your PDF to a PNG or a JPEG. And Brandon, unless you're seeing something, you may have to change it to, well, you could leave it as a Google Doc.
Right. I was just looking earlier in the text portion, you can hyperlink things. So if you had a
PDF, just bring it up to
a PDF as a Google Doc or bring over the Google link, you could do that.
So I think there's two ways. I mean, I'm not sure, how you might not know. So I think that's your best choice, right? Just take your PDF and then upload it into your Google, make sure you set it, anyone with a link can see, and then you would drop your link there. I'm not sure. I know I change labels all the time. Like I can change the extension. I'm not sure if you can change a PDF to a PNG. But if you could, well, let's just see. So here's my PDF. See if it comes up. All right, here's my PDF. And I like to go File, Export. I'm going to export it. I'm going to see if it'll let me export it as a picture. I'm just going to see Format, JPEG, Save. No, it didn't seem like it took it. Oh, wait, no, wait. There it is. Let me see if it'll let me pull that up in here as a picture. Yep. So all I did was I changed the extension of from PDF to PNG. And I'll do that one more time if people don't know what I was doing. That makes sense at all. So, wow, I don't even know what it would do. It's 1-to-1. We want the whole thing. Oh, I don't even want all that. Okay. I don't know why it wants you to crop, but anyway. But yeah, I mean, so I did it. Is that probably the best way? I think there's two ways to do it. Upload it to Google. I just happen to know how to export and make it and change the extension, but that's what Plurning's about. I didn't learn that. I did that by Plurning. So yes, you can add it. Does it take a little extra step? Yeah, but it's worth it. What other questions, concerns, or thought partnering can I do for people out there so we can turn them on to Plurn? That's it? Everybody's happy? Yeah, you could take a screenshot. Yep. It's kind of hard on a PDF though, but I get it. Yeah, I mean, I don't see immersive. Yeah, we'll figure that out, Christine. I promise we will. And again, it just could be a snafu. Did you sign in freshly today? I mean, have you signed out? Have you turned your computer off? I mean, just some things like that, might just kick, because Flipgrid is like every day. So it's almost like if you aren't updating or turning off your computer or shutting your browser down to let that new information kick in, that could just be as simple as that. I'm not saying that's going to fix it, but that's honestly what I would do. I would turn my browser off, see if it worked, turn my computer off, see if it worked, and then I would get on Flipgrid and be like, hey, help me out. All right, what other questions, concerns, or thought partnering can we do for you guys in terms of this amazing, wonderful Flipgrid?
Can I just bring up one topic that I did this week? And I'm like so excited about it. Okay, so our third, fourth, and fifth grade, we're talking about 3/4 meter time signature and that feeling of a waltz. And so we gave them an example on Flipgrid of the Nutcracker waltz and the dancing. And so, I assigned it yesterday, and we only had one class. The other classes have already gone on their Canvas and have already started, because all they had to do was find a song that has that waltz feel. And, that's the way to demonstrate without every single person having to talk to me at the same time and tell me that. So,
yeah,
so exciting. So exciting.
It is super exciting. So that's a great segue, I think, Brandon, what you say. Linda's been so gracious to share with us. Perhaps this is a great time, maybe now. You think, Brandon? Sure. So what we're going to do.
Absolutely.
So what we're going to do is we're going to ask you, I'm going to go ahead and put us in share mode, and we're on slide 20. If you're not, if you haven't, because you've been doing what I've been asking you to do. We're now to slide 20. And what we want to do is this, if you were here with us last week, we're going to use the same Flipgrid, right? So you'll see some of those basic ideas that were up there. And is it not working? It's working. You say, oh, snap.
Just excited.
Oh, okay, I was like, this is not working. So anyway, the idea here, guys, is that we want you to go back to that same Flipgrid Padlet. Remember, you're gonna want to scroll all the way. Oh gosh, this thing. You're gonna want to scroll all the way. Don't visual arts. We did not forget about you. You're just all the way at the end. We just did it alphabetically. So what we want to do is, based on the Discovery Library, as well as that immersive reader and the closed captioning, all those other features we showed you today, what are some ideas that are just popping in your head right now? Like, oh my gosh, I'm going to do this, or oh my gosh. So share some ideas, sharing is caring, because this Padlet will go out to all of the arts educators across North Carolina, and someone might come in and borrow your awesomeness. But you know what? You don't put your awesomeness up there, then we can't borrow it. So let's take a few minutes and put your awesomeness up there. Go ahead and find your column, and just share your ideas and connections for the features we've showed you today. We'll give you a few minutes to do that. To a little bit of Vitamin String Quartet on, if I can find it.
There is a huge fundraising deadline coming up for Senate Democrats, and they need your help right now if they're going to meet it.
I'm asking you to please donate now.
Lisa, if you're talking, we can't hear you. All right, so if you are in the document, I'm going to go ahead and share out some of your ideas. Excited to see the disco library and see discovery library and see what other people are doing. Very diverse school with many languages spoken. And the aha moment was Flipgrid has a tool to translate the videos, and that's a game changer. Fantastic. I agree 100%. Janet Berry, you are amazing. Sharing Google Chrome lab creations into Flipgrid because it's in the discovery. That is amazing. I use Google Chrome lab with my kids all the time. So it's phenomenal. Sharing a song that they use to improve their mood and how it helps them connected to SEL. That's awesome. Love that. The immersive reader to help make classes more accessible. What else do we have here? We have some more comments about immersive reader in the discovery library. Yeah. So I think what might be really cool is that if you guys are able to go into the discovery library and find actual like or Flipgrids that you love, go for it. Find or figure out what is really exciting to you. And then you are welcome to continue to add those things to the Padlet as well. Lisa, I'm going to try to manually unmute you. There you go. Now you're unmuted.
Oh, it's fine. I didn't care. I wasn't saying anything. I was letting you go.
I was watching you be excited.
No, I wasn't talking. I was just like, these are great. No, I'm super excited.
Awesome. Wonderful. Cool. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
So again, everything that we just did is going to be here for you. But again, this recording is also going to be available to you. So it might be just as helpful to watch this one again. But if you just want to watch how I borrowed, awesome, you're going to watch that video there. That's just there as an extra resource. But I'm going to turn it back over to Sayward and Brandon, kind of go over these. I think these are here before, but you guys take it away.
I'm going to let Sayward jump in on that.
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to find my screen here. Okay, so these are just some additional resources. If you joined us last week, this will be a review for you, but just make sure that you get a chance to go through these. We tried to find examples of Flipgrids within each of the content areas, but there's also articles in there and some ideas of ways to use that program in your classrooms. That first section there is just general Flipgrid ideas, and it was, you're fine. So if you go through, each of those might have a couple of ideas related to the arts, but they have just general ideas all around. So there might be one or two specific arts ideas, but there's plenty of things that you could adapt and really make work for you. So yeah, the next slide here is a specific webinar that was specifically for a Flipgrid in music classrooms. So this is by Felicia Davis, one of our favorite collaborators as well. She's done some stuff with us and she is amazing. So try to get a chance to look at this. Even if you don't teach music, you'll probably still find some really great information in there. So she's got her webinar and her slide deck. So you could just go through the slides and see if there's a section of the webinar that you wanted to watch. But I highly suggest going back through that as well. When you go to the next one here, we don't need to watch any of these because we did last week, but just as a reminder, if you want to go back and watch some ideas, this is one from Chris Martin, a theater teacher, and he's got a lot more ideas. He uses Flipgrid a lot, so he has great lesson ideas, and you're welcome to email him. He said he's happy to share more ideas and things that he's done in his class. So if you are really loving using Flipgrid and want to find some more lessons to use that in your theater classes, I highly suggest contacting Chris and check out this video. And we'll be sharing some more of Chris's tips later this week on our Facebook page. So make sure you check that out as well. The next slide is visual art. So again, you can watch this one. This is a visual art teacher, Melissa from Greenville, and she talks about a project that she has used Flipgrid for, and then a couple other things, but she actually walks you through all of it, and then you see an example of student work as well. So you can go back and watch that video if you're interested. And then the next one is Heather Harris, a dance educator, and she talks about how she gives feedback and actually records herself making a Flipgrid to give feedback movement-wise to her students. So especially in this virtual environment, this is really an effective way for her to physically tell the students what they can be doing differently and show them and speak it at the same time. And so it seems to be very, very effective for her, and she gives you an example of that. If you move on to the next page, this is one teacher, Amelia Bird, gave these 3 specific lesson plans that she uses Flipgrid for in her dance classes. So you can definitely go through this and look at the instructions that she gives the students and how she lays this out for her class. Again, you know, this idea can be tailored differently depending on your content subject, but you can get an idea of how she takes one lesson and then she scaffolds on it for the additional lessons as well for each of these Flipgrid assignments. And then this next slide here, this gives you some examples of student feedback. So you can watch these samples that the students turned in, and it talks a little bit about what each of these assignments were and what the students were asked to do. And then you have examples of what the students submitted for each of these. All right, so that's just a few ideas for you. And I'm going to let either Lisa or Brandon take it away.
All you, Lisa.
Well, what time is it?
It is 5:12. So we've got
5:12. So I think, I mean, I think we did a lot of our planning, a lot of it when we were actually trying to problem solve. I know you guys are going to go off and plan. So I think what we would rather do is we've got a lot of great information. So with your permission, we think you've gotten some learning. We know that you're excited and you're going to learn some more. So we're just going to kind of move on to our reflection protocol and some more information that these guys have to share for you before you leave. So don't leave yet. Stay tuned. Stay here. All right, here we go. So I don't believe that learning takes place until you actually reflect. This comes from George Couros, Innovator Mindset. And it's just a what, where, and how reflection. So this is sort of our summative reflection. So it's a little bit more thoughtful. So I wonder if you could take a moment or two and go into the chat room and just sort of talk about if you, whatever part of the series that you've been a part of, all the way from multimedia feedback to Flipgrid 101 to this one, you know, what are some of the things that you're going to challenge yourself when giving students multimedia feedback moving forward, right? And then we were talking about Padlet and Vocaroo and Screencastify and all the features in Flipgrid. You know, what are you going to do to challenge yourself? So that's your what. And then you're going to need to ask yourself, and this is where we have to be really real with ourselves and be reflective. You know, where in my practice do I need to grow, basically, to make number 1 happen, right? So what are you going to challenge yourself to do around feedback and multimedia? And if you're going to do that challenge, where do you need to grow in your practice? It could just be something as being more patient, doing more learning. And last but not least, your how. You know, a lot of times, we go and we do all these things and it's, this is amazing, but why? Remember, it's always about the kids. So how do the answers to number 1 and number 2, how are they going to impact the kids that you serve? So how are you going to what are you going to challenge yourself with? Where do you need to grow? How will the answers above impact the learners you serve? We'll take a look at some of those coming through the chat. So just drop those in the plat. Yeah. Oh, here we go. We got some people taking risk with intention. Thank you, Wanda. Nice. What, where, and how, folks. Yeah. Yes. Yes. The ocean wasn't boiled in a day. Stop trying to do everything all at once. Take one piece at a time. Give yourself a break. Just like you chunk stuff up for kids, chunk it up for yourself. Ooh. All right, just looking for a couple of those reflections to come on through. Oh, somebody's going back to multimedia. Love it. Nice. Yes, love it, love it, love it. All right. Well, you keep those reflections rolling in. Brandon and Say we're going to save these to help inform their work moving forward. And they're going to be so proud, and they're going to follow up with some of you to see if you need any more support around, some of the courageous things that you're going to be willing and to challenge yourself with, that you're willing to, have a growth mindset and grow your practice, and that that all of these tools are very student centered, right? So I'm going to turn it over to Brandon, who's going to take us out. Well, that's kind of a bad way to say it. Who's going to take us through the end?
All right. Well, we can actually cruise through this Q&A section.
Yeah, we already did all that. Okay. Oops. What is wrong? Oh, what did I do?
No, it's because you clicked a hyperlinked image.
I know I did, but now it won't let me go back. Oh, yes, it will. Okay.
All right. So our closing business, we will drop this link into the chat right now. Please fill out this survey to receive your PD certificate and help drive the conversation in the future. This is currently the end of this webinar series, and though we have a project coming up that will debut on Facebook tomorrow at 3 p.m.
Round of applause.
We are excited about that, and we are continuing to work with our department-wide SEL series. We want to know what you guys need next, especially in terms of virtual learning. So please do make sure to take some time to give us some thoughtful feedback with that in your survey. Yeah, I think that's good for this one. All right, here we go. Here's the happy slide. You can click on that image or that here, I believe, for the digital badge request. It's also in the webinar archive. If you click on this image, it'll take you to the digital badge request form. And all you need to do is resubmit your CEU certificates and you will get your digital badge. So theoretically, some of you could be dancing with that or emailing out all sorts of people with sweet digital badges on the bottom of your signatures tomorrow. So
as they email their language arts teachers and world and foreign language teachers about all this awesomeness, right?
Exactly, exactly. And if you're not sure how to incorporate your digital badge into your signature, don't worry. There are instructions on that when you get your digital badge. So all of that happy goodness. Oh,
These guys got you so covered. I can't even stand it.
You know what?
They're just so awesome. You guys have no idea how good you all have it.
I had to look it up, so I figured somebody else might have to look it up too. So, and I love everything that's coming through the chat. These are absolutely amazing. All right, take a look at the next slide, which is just a reminder of the SEL.
What? I did it again.
I'm telling you,
you guys just link everything.
Yes, I link everything. All right, continuing just to spread the word about our Arts Ed webinars. We like to consider ourselves gurus at this point, trying to meet the needs of all of our educators. So tell everybody how awesome this was, please. And then in the next slide, it's a reminder of October 21st. We have our integrating SEL into arts education. It is going to be interactive. You're going to meet the writers of these documents who are actually classroom teachers who are working on integrating SEL in a way that is not intrusive, in a way that's not just an extra thing. So you get to talk to them about how they came up with all of these great ideas. And we just really want to, next slide, say thank you for being here. We really appreciate you guys being here. And you can see Sayward as a pumpkin pie and me as cotton candy. And Lisa just getting ready to gobble us up.
Yes. And I would love to gobble you up. I just want to say I've learned so much working with these two fabulous and talented people. I mean, I wish I had this kind of support when I was in the classroom. You guys are so lucky, and I have such gratitude for both of these folks. I've learned a lot from them, and it's been fun, and I am full now. Thank you. I'm full.
Are you
It has been
sated?
delicious.
All right. Well, we have to say thank you so much to you. We literally have learned. I mean, Lisa's the one who really pushed us to give you guys digital badges, and we've learned so much about Twitter promotion and getting the word out to everybody, and not to mention the actual tools. So thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure. My honor.
Awesome. Well, any last questions? Let us know. Otherwise, you guys are free. We are releasing you to Plurn for the rest of the evening.
Because we know what you're going to do.
Basically, please don't neglect your children or your dogs or your cats or your husbands or your wives. Yeah. Your significant others. And enjoy the rest of the evening, everybody. Do let us know what you need from us.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for being teachers in the state of North Carolina. We love you.
Our 1.5 million students really do appreciate you guys being here.
Thank you so much, Lisa, for being here with us. And thank you, everyone, for participating.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and end the live stream and the recording.